Hi, it's Miss Patty with Sunday School, and this is the third part of our story about how Jesus was born. And I have my grandkids here to help us again.
Hello.
Hi.
We're going to start this part of the story with the star. The star was really important. Can you guys see? And we're going to sing Twinkle Twinkle. You can put your hands up for Twinkle Twinkle. Are you ready? We'll start on 3. 1, 2, 3. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
I can't see my hand.
So a long time ago, remember that baby Jesus had been born, right? And he was a little tiny baby when he was born. But now a long time has passed, and in a far, far, far away country, the wise men saw a star, and they started following the star, following the star. They went with camels. It was a very long ways. And they had presents that they brought. They brought 3 kinds of presents. They brought frankincense, myrrh, and gold. So after a long time, the wise men finally came to King Herod, and they asked,
Where can we find the new king of kings?
a new king?
Yeah. Don't play dumb. We know where it is. We've heard about it. We've been following the star.
Don't play dumb.
Well, I don't know where the new king is, so if you
Oh,
guys
snap.
find the king, you come and tell me. Is there a big old man that's the king?
No, he's not born yet.
Oh,
He's not
he's born because you've seen the star, right?
Oh yeah, he's born.
And how big is he?
About that big. About that big.
So he's a baby. He doesn't have a big country, a big king.
Yeah.
Well, once you find this king, you come and tell me.
All right.
I want to worship him too.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Goodbye, wise men. Okay. The wise men are suspicious.
Oh, look, there's a star. Too bad I can't.
Okay. Look, baby. Look, you have presents.
Whoa!
Look, the wise men came to you. What did they give you?
I brought myrrh.
Myrrh. Wow.
Gold.
Gold. Wow.
And frankincense. I never know what else to get.
Oh, thank you so much. That's really fun. And our baby's getting big now. You guys traveled a long ways. Thank you so much.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, you guys go to sleep and you have a dream. And in their dream, God spoke to them. And God said, do not go back and tell King Herod. King Herod wants to hurt the baby. Go the other way. And the wise men woke up and they went the other way. So they didn't see King Herod again.
Let's go this way. This way.
Well, that very night, an angel came and visited Joseph in a dream. And the angel said, run to Egypt.
Run to Egypt.
That's right. Because Herod's going to try and hurt Jesus.
Because Herod's going to hurt Jesus.
Okay, go now. Hurry.
Go now, hurry.
And so they did. Mary and Joseph got up and they went far away to Egypt where they would be safe. That's the end of our story today. Okay, so we're on the very end of our Christmas story, and you saw my grandkids act it out and sing about the star. And now we're going to read about it and put up our flannel board story. And if you, oops, I dropped something. And if you are in costumes, you can act it out. But we have a lot of fun things to do today. Let me tell you about it. So you've seen the play. And then we're going to do our flannel board story just like usual. And then we do have our worksheet and a family page. And then I'm going to show you my nativity set and tell you the story again. And I'm also going to read a book to you about Christmas. And I was thinking, if you had some costumes and you wanted to act out this story, you could act it out while I read the Christmas play. It might be too long for you, so we'll probably stop sometime after we do a little bit. Maybe we'll do head and shoulders, knees and toes, or we'll do some kind of a song. This is the way you get up in the morning, or something, so we can move around a little bit. Or maybe you can just push the button, and I'll stop for a while, and then you can come back and hear the rest. All right, so here's the flannel board story. You know what was happening because you just saw the children act it out, right? So when Jesus was born in Bethlehem, God put a very bright star up in the sky. Some wise men saw the star. How many wise men do you see? 1, 2, 3. We think of them as 3 wise men. God helped them to know that a great new king had been born. "Let's go find the king," said the wise men. "We'll take gifts, gold, perfume, and incense." Incense is a mixture of like good-smelling spices. They packed their camels and they rode for many, many days. Can you go clop, 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 clop with your hands? Clop, 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 clop. They had to travel a really long ways. When they got into the country, they came to Jerusalem and they went to King Herod's palace. Here's King Herod. They asked King Herod, "Where's the new king that was born? We want to worship him." Well, you know what? That didn't make King Herod very happy because he was the king and he didn't want to have a different king. He wanted to be the king with all the power. But he pretended like he was happy for a new king. And so, at first, when their question made King Herod angry, because he didn't know there was a new king. He wanted to be the only king. King Herod asked his helpers where the new king would be born. And they said, "God's word says he will be born in Bethlehem." So King Herod told the wise men, "Find the child and then come and tell me, because I want to worship him too." But King Herod wasn't telling the truth. He was lying. He really wanted to hurt the new king. You know who the new king is, right? Baby Jesus is going to grow up to be the best king of all. So the wise men traveled, and they traveled with some special gifts. And they saw a bright star overhead. They left King Herod. There they are with their gifts. And when they saw baby Jesus, wow, they knelt down to worship him. He's not a tiny baby anymore, is he? Because he's been growing all this time. The wise men would probably have gone back to tell King Herod where baby Jesus was. But God told them in a dream, "Do not go back to King Herod. Go the other way." And so they did. Now that night, you know what happened, right? An angel came and visited Mary and Joseph. They were sleeping, and the angel said, "Get up and flee to Egypt." It's a long ways away. They took their baby. You can see baby Jesus is still sleeping, walking a long, long ways. They have a long, long ways to go where they will be safe in Egypt. They hurried. They packed a few things. They picked up Jesus, and they started for Egypt right in the nighttime, quietly, so no one would notice them. It took a lot of days, but finally they reached Egypt, and then they were safe. And what we learn from this story is that God was with the wise men. He helped them find Jesus, and God was with Joseph and Mary and Jesus. He kept them safe. God promises always to be with us, too. Isn't that the best? The Bible says the Lord is with you wherever you go. Isn't that nice? I was listening to one of Pastor Eric's sermons the other day, and he said how God never sleeps. Even when we're sleeping, God's watching over us. I have a little prayer I used to say when I was a little child that has to do with God watching over us when we sleep. I'll pray that with you. You can put your hands together if you want. It goes, now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. In the morning when I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. And what that means is that when we're awake, we're going to do what God wants us to do. Dear Lord, I give you me. You gave me life, and I give you back everything I can do. So that's the nice little prayer. Here's our worksheet. This one's kind of fun. Can you see it all right? I'll put it up closer here for you. Adjust the light so you can see a little better. So here's the three wise men, and over here there's something we have to follow the lines and the dots. And here's somebody sleeping. And here's a mama and a little baby sleeping, toddler, and somebody else sleeping. And who do you think that is? Yeah, I think it's God coming to tell them. Maybe it was in an angel, but in the book, in the Bible, I believe it just says God came and talked to them in a dream. So up here, here's a 1. And then we have to draw a line to the 2. Then we have the 3. And then the 4. And then the 5. And look what happens when we get to all the numbers. We have a star. Down here we start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And there's Joseph sleeping, and Mary and the baby. And they're not in a stable anymore, because a long time has gone, right? So they have a window that they can look out. These are our stickers for today. Here's a couple little mice. I think there's some little mice sleeping down here in their house with them. And they've got some bowls there. We could put a water jug over here next to the bowls, or maybe on the floor. Here's a broom. They could have a broom for keeping their house clean. Or should we put it over here, over here? Maybe over here. Uh-oh. The window just went shut, didn't it? I didn't push it down hard enough. I don't want to knock my board off, so I don't press really hard. Here's a candle. Maybe they have a candle here on the shelf under the window. And this says, I know God is with me. We could put that right up here on the star. We could put it down here. Go put mine on the star. And here it says, hooray! Because that's the best to know God is with you, huh? On the other side of our worksheet today, we have to find where the puzzle pieces go. Can you see those? Hold them up a little closer. So there's our star puzzle pieces. One of them has like a red barn. This one has a couple of children in it. This one looks like they're reaching out for something. Here's some tall buildings. Here's somebody in the snow, like where we live in Fairbanks. This looks like it's part of somebody's house. So now we have to look at the pictures and say, well, which star would go in which spot? I think I'll choose the snow one first because it's easy for me to see. The snow one would go over here where the snow is, right? Oh, and here's the barn. Look, here's some more barn pieces. So the barn one would come over here. Here's some tall buildings. And here's the tall buildings. I'm going to put the tall buildings right there with my pen. Now we have this one that has a little girl standing up, and we have this one that has a house. Where do you think they'd go? I think this part of the house would probably go right here. Now, if I got it all right, this star is going to fit right into that spot. And look, here's some tennis shoes down here. I think these children are reaching right towards the ducks. And that's how that goes. All right, let's do some, shall we do head and shoulders? Let's do, this is the way we get up in the morning, because Joseph and Mary had to get up, didn't they? They had to get up and they had to be quiet about it. We don't have to be so quiet. All right, are you ready? When we get up, so when we get up, we wash our hands, we wash our face, we brush our teeth, we comb our hair. Are you ready for that? You can stand up and move around if you want to. I'm going to sit because that's easier for me with the camera so I can see into it for you. So, this is the way we wash our face, wash our face, wash our face. This is the way we wash our face so early in the morning. This is the way we wash our hands, wash our hands, wash our hands. This is the way we wash our hands so early in the morning. This is the way we brush our teeth, brush our teeth, brush our teeth. This is the way we brush our teeth so early in the morning. This is the way we comb our hair, comb our hair, comb our hair. This is the way we comb our hair so early in the morning. What else would you sing about? Would you sing we stretch our arms? This is the way we stretch our arms, stretch our arms, stretch our arms. This is the way we stretch our arms so early in the morning. How about jump up and down? I'm not going to jump with you, but I'll jump a little bit. You can jump a lot. Are you ready? This is the way we jump up and down, jump up and down, jump up and down. This is the way we jump up and down so early in the morning. Can you go around in a circle? This is the way we turn around, turn around, turn around. This is the way we turn around so early in the morning. There's lots of things you can do all day long, huh? All right, well, let me show you the family page. And then I'm going to show you my nativity set. This is the family page. We haven't had a family page for a couple of weeks, but we have one today. God so loved the world. That's from the Gospel of John. Let me fix the light a little bit here. It says, God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son. And the Lord God is always with you. Those are some of the lessons. And who's this? Is that Mary? Yeah, and here's the three kings. They've got their gifts. And who's that? Baby Jesus. Let's see what our story says today. It says that it wants you to do some of these motions. When I say shining, you're supposed to do this. Go from this to this. This is shining. This to this. Shining. And then it wants you to go riding. And so for riding, you do this. And then looking. Looking is this. And walking. Okay, see if you can remember those, and I'll read the story to you. After Jesus was born in Bethlehem, God put a bright shining, remember how to do shining? You're going to make your hands go out, shining star in the sky. The shining star told people that a new king was born. Some wise men who lived far away saw the shining star. And here's the picture of the wise men. See them on the path there? Let's find this king, they said. We'll take gifts to the king. The wise men packed their camels and began riding. Can you make your riding motion? After riding for days and days, they finally came to King Herod's palace. They said, "We're looking for the new king. We want to worship him." King Herod wanted to be the only king. He told the wise men, "Keep looking for the child. When you find him, tell me. I want to worship him too." But King Herod lied. Really, he wanted to kill Jesus. He was jealous and he didn't know that it was God's son. The wise men followed the shining star right to the house where Jesus was. When the wise men saw Jesus, they bowed low. They gave him their gifts. Here was the great king they had been looking, remember how to do looking for. God told the wise men, "Do not go back to King Herod." So they went riding by another road. You can see on the map that they've drawn, here's the king, the three kings following the star. This is probably where they saw King Herod. They went over here and they found the baby Jesus. And then they didn't go back this way. They went on away from King Herod. Then an angel talked to Joseph in a dream. "Get up," said the angel. "King Herod wants to hurt Jesus. Take Mary and Jesus to Egypt." Joseph woke Mary. "We must start walking." Remember walking? "Walking now," Joseph said. "An angel told me to take you and Jesus to Egypt." Mary and Joseph picked up Jesus. They started walking quietly and quickly. After many days of walking, they reached Egypt. Joseph and Mary and Jesus were safe. God was with Joseph and Mary. He helped them keep Jesus safe, and God is with us too. All right, we have Skeeter. Skeeter seems to want to tell us something. Let me get him for us. "I'm so sad, sad, sad." "Oh, Skeeter's sad. Why are you sad?" "Something bad is going to happen." "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Skeeter. What's so bad?" "I have to move." "Oh, and it makes me sad." "Well, the boys and girls will really miss you if you're not near." "Oh, I'll still be okay. I'm just sad because it's a new tree." "Oh, you're moving to a new tree." "Yeah, you know the big tree down by the park in that yard, next to the park?" "Oh, yeah, that really big tree?" "Yeah, that one. That one has lots of walnuts, doesn't it?" "Yeah." "And isn't it right next to a tree with acorns?" "Yeah, but I'm sad because I've always been in the same tree, and my friends might not know where to find me." "Oh, Skeeter, well, I'm glad you're not going so far away because every time I go down to the park, I'll still be able to see you." "Yeah, that's right, but I'm kind of scared of a new tree. What if I don't like it there?" "Well, you'll have your family." "Yeah, but I might feel alone." "Well, I bet there'll be new friends, and your friends aren't going to be far away. That tree's pretty close. You could still scamper around and see them." "Well, I don't know about that." "Well, you know what I think might make you feel better? No, what? If you're going to move with your family and your friends are still going to be nearby, you might get to have just more nuts and more friends. And you'll still have your old friends too. Oh, yeah, well, I guess that could be okay. That's true. True. Maybe it will be okay. And you know what else? Sometimes if we get a little bit scared, we don't have to be scared. Do you know why? No, not really. Well, it's because God is always with us. Oh, God is really strong and powerful, and He takes care of us, right? That is right. Well, okay then. I think that new tree will be okay. Bye, boys and girls. I'll still come back and see you. Oh, that's Skeeter. He doesn't understand things sometimes, does he? He doesn't know that it's always going to be okay when God takes care of us. Let me show you my nativity set. So a nativity set is one of the ways that we tell the story of Jesus. And it didn't all happen all at the same time, but we have all the characters so that we can remember the whole story. And so here we have the stable, and you know who came to the stable after they went to the inn, right? We have Joseph, came to the stable. Here he is. It's my Joseph. And we have Mary. A lot of times we see Mary dressed in blue. We had Mary dressed in blue in our play, didn't we? So there's Mary and Joseph. And you know the most important one for this story, right? There's baby Jesus. And baby Jesus is lying in a manger. The manger is like a place where they had hay for the animals. We'll put baby Jesus back here. Put some animals around baby Jesus. Here's a lamb. We have a cow. There's a donkey back there. That might have been to remind us that Mary might have ridden on a donkey. Sometimes we see a nativity set out in people's Christmas decorations too. One part I always like to put on my nativity set is I like to have the angel up there at the top. Can you see the angel? Put her up close so you can see the angel. She says, Gloria, glory to God in the highest, and peace to his people on earth, because now we're going to have Jesus alive on earth with us. And then who came first to come and see the baby? The angels went and told the shepherds, didn't they? And so here's a shepherd that I have in my nativity set. And the shepherd came down to see and meet the new baby. I'll put him back here with the sheep. And then it took him a long time, but somebody came on camels. There's a great big camel in my nativity set. You see that great big camel? Oh, he was packed with a lot of bags and luggage, and they didn't have the kind of luggage that we have, but carry-alls for, like duffel bags for, and they came. And who was riding the big camels? We had 1, 2, 3 wise men. Sometimes they're called 3 kings. Let me put them up close for you. There's one. See his gift there? He's going to kneel down here to worship the new baby. And here's the second one. It's another wise man. He's got a gift for baby Jesus. Put him over here by his camel. And here's the third wise man. And he's got a gift for baby Jesus. Put him over here. Now our stable's starting to look really full, isn't it? I have one more character that I usually put. Usually I have a little more room than I have right here. So I have another camel. This camel is a resting camel. He's lying down like he's had a hard journey. I'll put him back over here so he can be resting. And there's the nativity scene. If we were all meeting in our Sunday school, I would have a nativity set that you could set up during our playtime. But since we couldn't do that this time, I thought, well, I'll show them my nativity set. See if I can stop that so we can have our Christmas book and you can act out the story. Okay, here's the Christmas story, and I'm wondering if you know it well enough that you could actually tell the story. I bet you can from looking at the pictures, and you can act it out. If you have some costumes, you can put those on, but you don't have to have costumes. You can just pretend. Kids are really good at that. So this is called The Story of Christmas, and the illustrations are by Helen Dardick. The Story of Christmas. This is the story of Jesus' birth and the very first Christmas. You know the first thing that happened, right? Gabriel, that's the angel. One day a woman named Mary was at home when the angel Gabriel visited her. Try and fix this light so it's not so bright on our pages. There. Gabriel told her, "Mary, do not be afraid. God loves you, and you will give birth to a baby boy named Jesus. He will be the Son of God." Whoa, what an honor for Mary. So if you're acting it out, you could have Mary be afraid, and then you could have Mary not be afraid. She would be accepting what the angel said. Now, Mary was supposed to be married to a man named Joseph, and she told Joseph that she would give birth to God's son. Wow, that was kind of hard for Joseph, don't you think? Because that had never happened before. He didn't know anything about that. But Joseph was not sure how this could be until an angel appeared to him in a dream and told him not to be afraid. So Joseph and Mary were married. Soon an order came from Caesar Augustus that all people had to return to their hometown to be taxed. Joseph and Mary traveled to Bethlehem, where Joseph had been born. Now, if you're acting it out, you have to travel along. It looks like Mary was riding on a donkey. You could pretend. When they arrived in Bethlehem, Joseph and Mary were very tired. There was no room in any inn. One nice innkeeper told Joseph that he and Mary could stay in the stable behind the inn. It was there that Mary gave birth to a baby boy. She named him Jesus, just like the angel told her. Mary wrapped him in cloth and laid him in a manger. That night, shepherds were in the field watching over their sheep. An angel appeared in the sky and said, "Fear not, I bring you good news. Christ has been born. You will find the baby wrapped in cloth and laying in a manger." The shepherds rushed to the stable and found Mary, Joseph, and the baby Jesus. They praised God, and then they returned to their fields with their sheep. Soon after, wise men from the east started following a star in the sky, which would lead them to the newborn king. The star led them to Bethlehem, and they found Mary, Joseph, and Jesus. They bowed down to worship the baby. They gave Jesus many gifts, including gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Then they returned home. The wise men returned home. They didn't go back to Herod, did they? You know to go a different direction if you're acting this out. This story doesn't tell us what Mary and Joseph did, but we know what happened, right? That night while they were asleep, an angel came to Joseph in a dream and said, or God came to Joseph in a dream and said, "You've got to get up and go right now. Go to Egypt. Protect that baby." And so they did, didn't they? You know, in our play, my grandkids got up and ran out really noisy. But the real way, they were quiet. They were quietly stealing away so people wouldn't chase them. Jesus grew up in a town called Nazareth, and as he grew older, many people began to follow his teachings. Later, followers started celebrating Jesus' birthday on December 25th and called it Christmas. So now it says that Jesus grew up in Nazareth, but that's not in Egypt. When he was a little bit older after King Herod was gone, then they came back. And today we continue to celebrate Jesus' birth every Christmas, giving thanks for God's love and to his Son. So that's going to be the end of our Christmas stories. We've had several weeks of Christmas stories all about Jesus' birth. But guess what? It's not the end of Sunday school. It's certainly not the end of Jesus, right? So I'll see you again next week. And meantime, have a Merry Christmas. Keep it in your heart all year. And have a Happy New Year, too, because we've now gone into a new year on our calendar. All right. Remember, Jesus loves you. Bye for now.